All right. Welcome to Northeastern. What do you say we get started? Okay, cool. So I figured we'd start this morning off with a pop quiz. So there are, last count, 68 new energy system students for the fall 2018 incoming class from 13 countries and 39 undergraduate and graduate institutions. So we're going to go around the map, starting from the left, down, and over. So we'll start off with an easy one. What is that first flag on the left? United States. And the one right below it? Argentina. Below that one? Uruguay. And then? Colombia. Algeria. Nice. How about the next one? Nigeria. Egypt. How about this one? Saudi Arabia. Above that one? Does anybody know this one? Yemen. Pakistan. How about this one? India. And the top? China. And South Korea. Right. So in this room, we have a lot of talent here. We have students from all over the world, from all different disciplines, from all different undergraduate and graduate institutions. So look at this class as an opportunity to start networking now. You don't know when these connections are going to come in handy, whether it be in your classes when you're studying together and you have questions about certain concepts, or maybe you have questions about something that one of your classmates knows, or maybe 5, 10, 15 years down the line, you think to yourself, you know, it would be really nice if I could have somebody in this industry, or if I could reach out to somebody in that industry. I'd really like to know more about it. So we are strongest through diversity. So take this opportunity to get to know each other, get to know your peers in your classes, and really chat with each other, because this is a network here that you can start building from today, and it can only grow onward. So I'm going to go over the agenda for today. We are going to have a welcome from Dr. Marilyn Minus, the Associate Chair of the Graduate Studies in the MIE Department. Hamid Magalchi, your Program Director, is going to give you an overview of the Energy Systems program. I'm going to chat a little bit about graduate certificates. There will be a longer session on graduate certificates next week that you will all receive an email invitation to. Pete Cardillo will give you an overview of the optional co-op program here at Northeastern. I'm going to come back and I'll chat about what my office is and what I can do for you as a Student Services Advisor. Then we will hear from the Energy Systems Society, their president, Shubham Nainwal. We are also going to hear from the Graduate Student Government. Their vice president, Aluk, has come here today. Then we're going to open it up for questions and answers. So if you don't mind, please hold all of your questions until this session. And then afterwards, we have a boxed lunch for each of you. So that we'll eat lunch, and we'll use that as a chance to network and chat with each other. So before I get into the first slide, I'm going to ask everybody to please silence your cell phones. You can use them to take a recording or take a picture of the slide, but please silence them. We are also recording this session here today, so I will send you all the video and this slide deck probably later next week once available. So at this point, I'm going to invite Dr. Marilyn Minus up. All right. Oh, I'm stuck. This is a terrible idea. Here you go.
All right. Well, good morning, everyone. All right. Welcome to Northeastern. Welcome to the College of Engineering. So I'm the Associate Chair for Graduate Studies in the Mechanical and Industrial Engineering Department, which is what Energy Systems fits under. So also welcome to the department and welcome to your program. So I just wanted to briefly introduce myself. I'm actually not going to be hanging around much for today, but I wanted to introduce myself. Because I sit in this role, you will get to know me when you need forms signed. So there will be forms, petitions, grade change, concentrations, all kinds of different things as you go through your program that you might need signatures for, and I'm one of those signatures. And so I have office hours that will be posted in the department. So my office isn't listed here, but it's in the main mechanical engineering suite. I will have office hours there, so you can come by during those office hours if you have any questions, and I'm also available for appointments if you want to email me. But this is where I come into play. Your program director, Professor Magalchi, is going to be probably your main point of contact, but if you do have any additional questions, I'm happy to help wherever I can, okay? So just want to introduce myself again. Welcome to the department, welcome to the college, welcome to Northeastern. I hope you really enjoy being in part of this program. Thanks.
Alrighty, now I'm going to invite up Hamid Magalchi, your Program Director for Energy Systems. Do you want me to stand here and press the slides?
Good morning. Having fun in Boston so far? Is it warm enough for you? Some of you came probably with warmer areas, so this is cool, no? And then if it's cold for you guys now, you're gonna have problems in January and February. But it's warm for you now, you love the winter, okay? Try to, when it gets to the cold air, cold time, try to enjoy winter sports. Otherwise, life would be miserable, okay? Go do some skiing, ice skating, whatever it takes, so you will enjoy the cold weather. Otherwise, it will be tough. Okay, my name is Hamid Magalchi. Some of you guys I emailed, and I think what we have here now, 68 of you, I don't know how many of you in the room, but every one of you have different ideas what to do in future. At the end, you guys want to solve energy problem in the world, right? And right now, how many people in the world? How many people live on planet Earth? 7 billion. And in 30 years would be 14 billion. So you guys would be around, I will not be around. And that means you guys have to produce more energy. And also, people's quality of life keeps increasing, right? So in 30 years, maybe you need 4 times the energy that we have right now. So it's a big challenge. The best sources are there, right? You're looking at it. The question is how to capture it with good efficiency. What are the efficiency on our solar panels now? 14, 15, 16. It depends how much you pay, right? You can pay a lot more and get 20%. Or you can be cheap, 15%. There's a competition between China and India. Who produces the less expensive panels? I think those 2 countries have pushed all other countries in Germany, in the US aside, so those 2 guys are competing. And it's going to continue like that. Then after that is storage. You have lots of energy right now. What are you going to do at night? And the storage is going to be an issue. We just developed a course in the energy storage systems, and we look at those. What is number 1 storage energy storage system nowadays? Hydro. Almost 95, 96% of energy is stored in hydro. Hydro is when you have power plant, you produce more energy at night that you don't need. Hopefully there is a mountain, you pump water up to the mountain, and in the daytime, you use it as a dam, basically, the water comes. So 95, 96% is hydro. People usually think about battery. Battery is not there yet, okay? But they're working on it. And maybe battery would be very important soon if maybe some of you guys get involved. So these are the stuff we have to do. Energy generation, which is solar and wind mainly. Of course, the fossil fuel is not going to go away. It's there because the bottom line is economics. If it costs less to burn coal, oil, or gas, countries will do it. If you're in charge of producing power, the only way you can sell it if you produce it less expensive, so you can sell it. So you say, okay, what costs the least, and you do it. You just cannot say, well, it is. I have to be a good citizen. I have to produce energy without any pollutants, but nobody's going to buy it from you, okay? And that's going to be a problem. By the way, one of the most important things you guys, you young people, have to be worried about is the carbon footprint, right? And you guys should be able, you can go online and carbon footprint, and you can do, there's calculators, there are about 15 of them maybe online, You can calculate what is your carbon footprint. And he said, wow, so many tons of CO2. You're talking about maybe 15,000. So you have to reduce that. Anyway, this is where we're going to, and that's the end goal. But during this, you're going to take some courses. There are some required courses. There are some elective courses. You decide what to do with it. Okay, my name is Hamid Megalchi, and those of you who don't know, I'm from Iran. I came here maybe before even your parents were born. In 1971, I was 18 years old and I finished high school. I told my parents I'm leaving. He said, where the hell are you going? I said, Norman, Oklahoma, USA. I said, where is Norman, Oklahoma? So I picked up a map, said, this is where it is. And don't ask me why. But then I came here. I did my studies. Then 1975, I graduated. So there was a small school the other side of the river. You know, there is a Charles River, right? And there is the other side of the river, there's a school called Massachusetts Institute of Technology. It's small. They have about 7,000 students, okay? We have 16, 17, something like that.
Oh, over 20.
Over 20,000 now. So we are much larger, 3 times larger, okay? And I graduated in 79. My wife graduated from Boston University. She had a master's in communication. Then I started looking for a job. She said, Hamid, we're not moving from Boston. Boston is the place to be. And she said she doesn't care. I can deliver pizza, you know, delivery. And I looked around and bought Northeastern had opening, so I applied. They offered me a job. I stayed. Then I got involved in the ASME, American Society of Mechanical Engineering. So whenever there was opening for department chairs, somebody nominated me. So that's the first thing I would ask my wife, should I apply? She would say, no. We are not leaving Boston. And then I did something here. Then they started nominating me for Dean of Engineering. And I would ask my wife, should I apply? She would say, if you want to go, go. But she's not coming. So things changed, okay? So as a result, I'm here. I'm not going to go anywhere. And we're going to have fun with this energy system. So as you see, I came here assistant, associate, and full professor. Then I became associate chair, like you saw Dr. Marilyn Minus. Then they liked me. I became department chairs for 10 years. Then they liked me. They say, okay, why don't you become dean of engineering? After 1 year, I said, no, I don't want this. So I went back to become full professor. I teach. When I go to class, I shut the door, I start talking. That's the best time of my life, okay? Especially when I see how much you know about the subject, and by the end of the term, how much you know now, and you say, Professor, we learned this. This is great. That's the best thing could happen to any instructors. And meanwhile, the ASME liked me, and they have a journal. They have about 25 scientific journals. And one of them is called Journal of Energy Resource Technology, and I'm the editor-in-chief of that journal. So if you guys do any research you want to publish, you can talk to me, and we see on the average, we publish about 30% of the papers they submit to the journal. So it has to be scientific and something good that humanity can use. And then the ASME has also a grade. At the top of the grade, like full professor, is something called fellow. They gave that to me. Then there is this, you guys know about Harry Potter, right? Harry Potter was a professor at Illinois long time ago, and when he was passing, he gave a lot of money to ASME. They endowed a recipient, so every year ASME gives a Harry Potter award to one person with a few times. What, you got to shut down here? Go down here, is Harry Potter? Okay. That's the guy. This is all before this thing started. This is about 50 years old. Okay. So they gave me one of those, and that's the medal I received. That's the guy's. Then they said, okay, you're good. Then there's Obert. Obert was another guy like Harry Potter, who's a thermodynamist, and he gave some money away to ASME. So I've been there, basically. I did a lot of stuff that many of you guys will do in future. Anyway, now, look at the energy sources. That's one of them, solar photovoltaic. At this moment, We don't have a solar PV course, but I'm in the process of developing. We have solar thermal course that in which you make hot water for heating any either hot water or the air. So that's solar thermal. Then we have wind, hydro, biofuels. It was going to be hard. Everybody thought about biofuel from algae, make the biofuel from algae, and we did a lot of work. My work is in combustion. So basically, I say, Professor, what do you do research? What is combustion? Combustion is burning a fuel. I say, what the heck you're doing that? Okay. I do research the last 40 years in the combustion. There are two things: to improve efficiency of your combustors, to reduce pollutants. If you had a chance to drive an old car and now drive a new car, you see the difference. I could say I had to do something with it, okay? Because what I do, I make some experiments. I look at flame surfaces, stability of the flame front, and also I measure flame speed. You need to know flame speed in order to design good combustor, because you want to make sure you burn it quickly before next gas is coming in. If the gas is coming in is faster than you can burn, so exhaust gas, you have lots of unburned hydrocarbon. That's no good, okay? So biofuel is still some possibility. If, again, at the end of the line is economics. If you can make it cheap, okay? Cogeneration, that means you have, let's say, a power plant, you generate electricity, and also you generate some hot fluid that can be used for heating. So that's cogeneration, okay? You could also, not people talk about trigeneration, to produce some cooling effect somewhere else. So those are all possible. This is your friends, right? Now, it's not going to go away. The reason is, I just looked at the price of barrel of oil. It's about $70, okay? And still, that guy cannot compete with this, okay? This you make it. Now, where is the most oil? We have how many people from Saudi Arabia? Anybody? We saw the flag, right? Saudi Arabia can take oil out of the ground for cost of $3 per barrel, okay? And they have plenty of it. They can produce a ton of it, even it's $10 per barrel, okay? So now if you're trying to buy energy, do I go this, which costs me equivalent to $90 per barrel? Or I can buy from these guys $10 per barrel. So that's why it's still gonna be around for a while, maybe 50 years, okay? So don't assume tomorrow it will be all solar and wind. So you have to do some optimization, and we'll take a look at it. Fossil fuel, that's what we talk about. Nuclear, you like nuclear? It's clean, right? There is no CO2, okay? The only problem is what you do with the waste, right? And the waste, the nuclear power plants will be around, what, for 50 years now? The waste are there. They haven't found a place. None of these nuclear power plants have found a place to store the waste. I mean, some rich countries try to bribe the not rich country to ship him there, to keep him there. Then some, like the U.S., try to do some mountains in Nevada. Then the people in Nevada say, no. But they're all holding it in their own power plant right now. And as of right now, nothing has happened. Of course, the accident happened, right? 3 Mile Islands before you were born, and the recently tsunami in Japan, right? So many people say it should be in the mix because it is the carbon footprint is nothing, very small. Geothermal, if you have it, would be perfect. Biomass, what's biomass? Now, basically, when you walk around the street of the Boston, the sidewalk, you see some of these columns coming out, the green columns from the sidewalks, up to probably my height, even higher. These are biomass. These are from the sewer system that they make methane and CO2, but they vent it out, so it won't be any explosion, okay? So it's possible to get that. Actually, there are some plants that in the area where you store the garbage, they can take the biomass out and burn it. Again, economics. Okay, now, how do you going to solve the problem in the world? You have to know, they have the technical knowledge, right? Economics, policy. That's one of the hurdles in front of engineers. These politicians, they don't know much. They decide something, and then you're engineers, they're trying to take your hair off. What is this? But it's a politics. Some may want to make it sustainable, societal effect, urban development, all of these. Customer psychology, for example, people without knowing anything about nuclear say, no nuke. And you say, why? Say, we don't like it. Okay? That's customer psychology. You just cannot say, hey, you're stupid. Nuclear is not that bad. It doesn't work that way, right? So you have to deal with it. So then you have all of these you have to combine. So the program here we have, I cannot say we're going to cover everything, but we're going to cover many of them in your course. And you have elective courses, the question, what do you like to do, okay, in your electives. So it looks like now, if you look at the whole picture, it looks like a spaghetti, right? Now, world consumption of energy by source, this is 3 years old, and look at that coal. It's a lot. Our friends from China and India, they use a lot of coal. Clean coal, people talk about clean coal. Is it oxymoron? Right? For what is the toughest, hardest oxymoron, the most important oxymoron that you've heard? The Americans, civil war, right? How could the war be civil? Yeah, that's oxymoron, okay? Clean coal is kind of oxymoron. It depends how much you spend money to clean it. And again, economics doesn't work if you really want to have clean coal, okay? But if you're in China, what do they have? A new plant, 1,000 megawatt every week? What do? You have a ton of coal, you burn it, okay? And of course, the renewable, look at that. It's not much, right? Natural gas, if you have natural gas, you use it. It's clean, relatively cleanest fossil fuel, let's put it that way, okay? Oil, I mean in the US it's mainly for heating and transportation. Natural gas, a lot of it for electricity, power plant, okay? Okay, greenhouse gas emission, you care, right? What do we have? Carbon dioxide? Global greenhouse gas emission, economic section. Okay, this is what it costs. Who cares about it? Look at this. And you just have to, methane is greenhouse gas. Okay? And that's what the problem is from the people, the area that you have garbage. It just has lots of methane. It's better to control it, burn it, convert to carbon dioxide, because it's worse than carbon dioxide when it comes to greenhouse gas. All right, what do we have? Share of the global carbon dioxide emission. This guy, who is this? China, look at that. Okay. Who's number 2? USA. Is this one India? India. Okay. Russia. So the developed countries, they telling China and India, hey, slow down. And the China and India say, guys, you did it for 100 years. Now you find that you don't like it, you're telling us not to do it. So that's the problem is happening right now, okay? As soon as we are developed enough, then we join you guys with the other plans. So that discussion is going to continue. There is no winner, and that's policy, right? All the politics involved. So you want to take the other ones are all 1%, no problem. Global carbon emission from fossil fuel, it keeps going up. Now, curriculum. What do we have? All options available full-time and part-time students, and also on many courses available online. So we do 32 credits, not counting the co-op course. The co-op course is 1 credit if you need to go to co-op. So 16 of them are core courses and 16 elective, right? You can do, some of you guys like to do some research, you can do a project, but the program does not require research. That's the research talking about it. The online, do we have any online students here? Probably not, they're online, right? There are exactly the same thing. There are, not all courses are offered online, okay? So we have to deal with it. Now, Academic Link, this is the program for somebody who doesn't have background in science or engineering. So, but the smart people, let's say you studied philosophy and got 3.8 on the undergraduate, you work for a few years, then I want to change your career. So, okay, you can do this. So we have two courses combined, whatever you need from thermodynamics, fluid mechanics, the so-called heat transfer, calculus 1, 2, differential equation. It's compact courses. So those of you, I don't know if any of you there, you have to take the 8 more credits course, right? Everything else is the same. There is also this Gordon Engineering Leadership Program, which is 36 credits, 16 of them are Gordon Engineering Leadership Program, and the other 12 core courses, because one of those 4 credits replaces one of the core courses, which is a math course. And then waive the math course, and then 8 credits of other elective courses. So these are all different programs. Most of you probably in this situation, right? Now the core courses, now there are many different energy programs around the globe, okay? And almost all of them are 100% technical. When we started to develop this, again, it shouldn't be all 100% technical. People should know about economics, finances, all that stuff. For example, there are 2 major utility companies around Boston. It's called National Grid and Eversource. A few months ago, I got an email from National Grid that, Professor McGulty, we have a position, we want to hire one of your graduates, not electrical engineering program. Remember, electrical engineering has a program in the power, but that's 100% technical. So these guys say they want to hire somebody who knows finances, who knows economics. Okay, so that's why this program is different from most of the other technical energy programs. You're here, you probably like this. There is a program in Australia. There's only about solar energy. So you take all solar energy courses. If you think that's what you like, you generic I'm talking about, you should follow that. But here, we give you the width of the program, okay, that you can do anything with this degree that you have. So, one of the courses is the Fundamental Energy System Integration that you guys are going to take, right, most of you guys. And then there are usually either economics or finance or math. You can do it, the second course. Now, we'll talk about it, I think. Then there are lots of electives. These are the energy system courses. These are the link, academic link. So if you're in 32 credits business, you don't take the first 2. And why is this there, Miss Laura? Is it duplicate, right?
The top one is for the regular students, and the other one is for
Oh, okay. This is the same stuff, the required courses for the link. Okay. All right. Great. We can move on. What should I take my first semester? Those 2. The second course you all should take. The first one could be any of the 3, right? And again, some of you say, Professor, I can take 3 or 4 courses. Okay. I would say maybe. What's your background? Okay. There are many of you guys from many different kind of universities that I don't know. Okay, now I only knew few universities in China and India that if I say, okay, if you're a graduate of Tsinghua or graduate of Shanghai Jiaotong, okay, that means you're very good. You want to take third course, fourth course, fine. Okay, but if you're graduating from school, you may be very good, but I don't know. Okay, if you want to take the tech course, on your own risk. I don't have any problem, because remember, each course is about $6,000, maybe even more than that. And the worst thing is you take the course and you drop it, or you don't get a good grade and you have to do it again. Okay, the same thing from India. I know IITs. Okay, it's not easy to get to IITs. Some of NITs are good, very good too. Okay, I don't know. There's so many universities in India. I don't think anybody knows all about the universities in India. Even the Ministry of Higher Education in India probably cannot make a judgment of what the school is good. Again, if you want to take the third course, it's up to you. You know, you can do it, but generally we recommend, especially the first semester, to figure it out, because you went through this school 12 years in elementary school and high school and 4 years in the college, and suddenly you go to another place, and the first semester is always hard to learn and get the culture of the new universities. Okay, but it's up to you, whatever you want to do. And if you are LINC or STEM stands for what is science, technology, engineering, math. So that's basically science, non-science and engineering background. These are all, there's a bunch of approved electives. Remember, you have 16 credits of elective, and you can take these, no problem. If you want to take courses outside this, then you have to come and convince me why it's good for you to take it. And I'm not that hard to be convinced, okay? And if that's what you like, hey, that's fine, go for it, okay? Not every elective is available semesters. Not every elective is available online. If you're online students, when you say online, there are two different methods. There are courses that are really online. You just open up your computer, you do it. There are courses like this. There is a camera, and there would be a movie, and we put in the blackboard, so the students at night can take a look at it. If you are in a class on campus course and there is a camera, I think they would be available to watch the lectures at night too. So it's good. For example, the ENSY 5000 would be, no, that's online, not streaming, right? That's online. That's only online. Is anybody taking my graduate thermal course? That's with the camera. You're taking it? ME 7270? Is that what it is? Or no, you're taking the power plant. Power plant. Okay, that's going to, as of right now, we have a camera. I don't know, unless Laura says no to remove the camera. We'll see what we can do. Okay, now outside the College of Engineering, they only allow you 9 semester hours. That's almost uniform across the whole College of Engineering. So we cannot negotiate. Say, hey, professor, this is a good course for me. I say, yes, but even I sign it, Laura will not accept it because she goes by the book for the College of Engineering. Okay. Other electives? So, as we said before, is a case by case. You meet with me and say, how is it? Then certificate, Laura is here. We leave the questions and answer. We have plenty of time, right? We can discuss that. You want this too? Yeah. I thought you could, you're loud enough.
I could be loud enough.
There we go.
All right. So, along with your electives, the College of Engineering also offers a number of certificate programs. that you can combine with your master's degree. And when you graduate, you can earn both a master's degree in energy systems and one of these certificate programs. I'm not going to get into the details here today. There will be a graduate certificate information session next week. I will send you all an email invitation to that once we have the room booked. But just know that when choosing your electives or choosing your courses, you also have the option to combine it with one of these certificate programs. So you could end up with a master's degree in energy systems and a certificate in Lean Six Sigma or a certificate in sustainable energy systems. These certificates are no extra cost, and they're really easy to apply to. So if you have questions, look out for my email as an invitation to that session, and attend it next week. The graduate certificate director is Dr. Himlona Palike, so she'll be hosting that session next week, once we confirm it. All right, now I'm going to invite your co-op advisor, Pete Cardillo, up to talk a little bit about the optional co-op program.
Thanks, Laura. Okay, everybody. My name is Pete Cardillo. I'm the co-op coordinator for a class that many of you will take, ENCP 6000. I'm here today to provide a brief overview of the co-op program. In terms of eligibility, in order to be eligible to go on co-op, you need to have earned 16 and completed 16 semester hours, have a 3.0 GPA, and you also have to take the ENCP 6000 Career Management for Engineers class. It's a 1-credit class. Okay, you may begin your co-op search in spring 2019. At this point, all of you will not be assigned a co-op coordinator or an advisor until January. In terms of your access to NU Careers, NU Careers is the internal website here we have at Northeastern where employers go to post jobs and students go to apply to those jobs, search for them. I did want to make mention that, right away we're suggesting uniformly across the department that all students, if you don't have a U.S. driver's license, to start the process now of getting one. And I think that will help you to be a bit more marketable when you're applying to jobs so that the employers know you don't have to carpool, that you can get to and from work easily. Relocation, as great a city as Boston is, if you have a co-op opportunity in a different state, we certainly encourage you to take it. And right away, I'm suggesting that students start to network, start to reach out to industry contacts. For many of you who are international, you may not even have a network base yet. In fact, that's probably the case for most of you. So now is a great time to start to reach out to industry contacts to get your name out there, to build those relationships that will hopefully translate at some point into a co-op. Something to keep in mind. Okay, CPT. Obviously, if you're an international student, if you want to work in the U.S. workplace, you need to be on CPT. OGS, the Office of Global Services, puts on amazing workshops, information sessions. They have their website. I mean, the list goes on and on. So if you get invited, when you get invited to go to these workshops, these sessions, I strongly suggest going to them so that you can educate yourself about the CPT process. We're also going to be going over that in class as well. Okay. Okay, Career Management for Engineers. I wanted to provide a quick overview of this course. Again, it is optional. It's 1 credit. If you want to go on co-op, you need to take this course. It's a requirement. The purpose of the course is to help you acquire tools, ultimately, that will help you earn a co-op. And yes, I said earn a co-op. We don't guarantee any of our students co-op, but we certainly want you on one. That will I think will enhance your experiential learning without question. So we help you to job search. We help you to create a resume, create cover letters. We help you to develop a strategy to help you with your job search. Okay, strategy is very, very important. I think that there are some students that come in and don't necessarily have a strategy, and what ends up happening is that they apply to 300, 400, 500 jobs and they're kind of not getting anywhere, and oftentimes it points back to the lack of strategy. So in this course you're going to be developing your own strategy. Okay, interviewing skills, interviewing techniques, that's very, very important that you learn how to interview. You know, when students interview, oftentimes you're competing against a number of other students, so it's important that you have good interviews and you do the best you can with that. So certainly the course will be teaching you about that as well. And again, networking is extremely important for your job development. You open up your search considerably with your ability to network, and you know, a good chunk of this class is going to be helping you to develop your networking skills. Okay, very, very important. So ultimately, the value of this prep course, it really is a tool to be used. It's a stepping stone to be used to get into the U.S. workplace, okay, to get a co-op. How many people here want a co-op by show of hands? Okay, just about everybody. Okay, so oftentimes I get asked about statistics, you know, well, what percentage of students, you know, that are international get co-ops? So I don't know what it's been in the past. You know, I can't speak to an exact number or percentage, okay, but I know what it's going to be going forward because you just answered my question by raising your hand. The goal for us as a team is to get everybody on co-op, period. It's going to take work. It's going to take grit, perseverance, a growth mindset, which you'll be learning in class, okay, but it can be done. I am also going to be sinking my teeth into, you know, energy systems in developing jobs for students. Okay, and I believe that everybody here can be placed into not only a co-op, but a really good co-op that's in alignment with your career goals. Okay, so that is ultimately the value of the class, is to help you earn a co-op. It's a tool for you to use to help you to have a good resume, a cover letter, you know, a strategy, being able to reach out to people, knowing what to say. But ultimately that leads to one thing, co-op. All right? And I think, you know, we'll have time for questions later on. Okay. I think we're good. Thank you. Okay, what to do next, just really quick. There are links for graduate co-op information, you know, policy standards, GPA. When you get a chance, click on the links, go through the information, and that should be helpful as well. Thank you very much.
Okie dokie. So, my name is Laura Adrian, and I am your Student Services Advisor. So this is my third year here at Northeastern University. I work with you guys, the Energy Systems students. I work with the Engineering Management students. We just had that orientation yesterday. There were almost 300 of them, so you're a much more manageable group. And I will be working with our new robotics program that's starting next spring. So again, I've been here for 3 years. I grew up in Boston. I went to school in Boston. I still work in Boston. Before I came to Northeastern, I worked in the travel industry. So if any of you just want to chat about Boston, what to do in the area, where to go, what the locals do, I'd be happy to talk with you about that, as well as your academics. So I get a lot of questions about what is Student Services? What is my office? What do I do for you guys? My office is part of the Dean's office. So like Hamid says, I'm the rule stickler. We partner with your academic departments to support you guys as graduate students. So I partner with the MIE department. And as graduate students, you have at least 2 advisors. You have an advisor, a faculty advisor from your academic department, who is Hamid. And you have an advisor from the Dean's office. Myself, I'm your Student Services Advisor. So your faculty advisor helps you with course selection. He helps you with course content. What courses do you want to, what is the content that you want to learn, and what courses can help you get there? And he helps you align your coursework with your career aspirations. So if you've worked in a particular industry and you want to continue in that industry, if you want to get into a new industry, you want to try and pick courses that align with your aspirations, Hamid is the one that you want to talk to. I handle more administrative logistical support issues, so technical problems like course registration. I think I've emailed with a few of you trying to get into your first semester courses. I monitor the academic requirements for your program to make sure you're meeting them. I make sure you adhere to the curriculum. When it's time for you all to graduate, I'm the one who's checking your transcripts against the curriculum to make sure that you've done what you need to do, and I will be the one to tell the registrar, yes, he or she earned this degree, please give it to them. So how can I help you? I support you in 4 areas. So the first is academics, course registration issues, graduation requirements, what boxes do you need to check in order to earn this master's degree, and academic probation, which is when you fall below a 3.0 GPA. I'll talk about that in detail in a few slides. I work with funded students, so any students in energy systems who have a stipended graduate assistantship or an SGA, any Fulbright scholars here, or any students who are on fellowships. I work with those partner institutions. If any of you need letters or forms filled out for your Fulbright or for a fellowship, I'm the one that can provide those things for you. I send communications to you all, so I send a newsletter, reminders about deadlines, emails about events and opportunities on campus. All of my communication to you will go to your Husky email, your student email address. So please either check your Husky email address regularly or link it to your personal email address, or you will be missing some very important information. And for any international students, you will get familiar with what's called a SAVIS contact. So I'm your academic SAVIS contact. So there are going to be forms that you'll need my signature on. And there's a whole lot of other things I do, but I won't bore you with them right now. So again, for any students on F1 or J1 visas, if you have any questions about visa issues, you need to go see the Office of Global Services. As international students, you also have an international student orientation that you either should have already attended or you will be attending. If you ever have any questions about anything related to your visa, don't hesitate to stop by OGS. All right, so shifting a little bit, I'm going to talk about my office in the context of 3 areas: resources available to you as students, your responsibilities as graduate students, and support. So in terms of resources, most of the resources available to you at Northeastern are online. There are so many resources available to you all, but I'm not going to overwhelm you today. So I'm going to talk about 2 or 3 key resources that you all should familiarize yourself with in your first few weeks here. So the first one is the My Northeastern portal. It is your student portal, and it allows you to access course registration, your email, billing, Blackboard, your Husky card, and a whole lot more. So I think everybody in this room should have already set up their student portals. If you have problems or your student portal is not set up, come see me and we can work that out and make sure it's all set up. The second resource is the registrar's office. So the office of the registrar is the office on campus that controls class schedules, your academic records, your transcripts. They are the office that sets deadlines. When are the course add and drop periods? When are the final exam schedules? What day should the semester begin? Now, most of your interactions with the office will be online. They do have a physical office on campus, but all of their resources are available online. And within this registrar's office, the 2 most important resources for you all to know within these first couple of weeks are the calendar and your catalog. So again, when I send this slide out, please bookmark this webpage so you have access to it. So the graduate catalog. This is the catalog that lists your curriculum or the requirements for you to graduate with this master's degree. Since you all are entering in the fall 2018, your graduate catalog is this one here, the 2018-2019 graduate catalog. There are older ones on that website. You can browse them if you'd like, but do not get confused. You're not held to those same requirements. So the catalog houses the official curriculum requirements and the elective course options for your program. It also houses the Northeastern University Graduate School of Engineering academic policies and procedures. It has the Code of Student Conduct, what we expect from you all as graduate students, and your Bill of Academic Rights and Responsibilities. Now, the other important resource is the university calendar. Bookmark this page and add these dates to your Google Calendars, to your personal calendars. I will send reminders periodically throughout the semester, but it's your responsibility to be aware of these dates. So it lists the start of classes, it lists days off, it lists the course add and drop deadlines. The other important thing is, as students, I'm sure you all want to either travel back home or travel in the US or just take some days off. That's perfectly fine, but always consult with this calendar, because if you miss a deadline because you've been traveling, or if you miss an exam because you've been traveling, sorry, that's on you. So you need to be aware of these deadlines. So some important ones to take note of is September 5th, I hope you already know, next Wednesday, first day of classes. September 18th is a Monday. That's the last day for you all to add courses to your schedules. September 25th is the last day to drop a class with a full refund. So if you try and drop a class after the 26th or after the 25th, you will be charged a portion of that tuition. And if you drop it late enough, you will still be charged the full tuition for that class that you're not finishing. And October 8th, that is a Monday and it's a holiday here, so our offices will be closed and you won't have classes. So my office also has a web page. That's my team there. Our webpage is not as nice as some others on campus, but it's still pretty useful. Yeah, it's pretty, that's a screenshot there, it's pretty dismal. But the two important things on this, or the one important thing on this page for you all, is a link to our forms. So again, as Hamid said, if you want to take courses outside the curriculum, you want to do something outside of the catalog, we use forms through our office, and all of them are available online. You can stop by my office, pick them up as hard copies, but if you're at home, you're online, you're here part-time, you can download them. Two of the most common forms you guys are going to use are a petition form, used to request lots of various things, and the registration override request form. So the petition form is used for a number of things, and two of the most important ones are you're using it to choose an elective outside of your curriculum. So an elective that's not listed in your curriculum, you all want it to count towards your master's degree, so this is the form that you need to use. So this is the form that you take to Hamid, that you take to Dr. Marilyn Minus, and that ultimately you bring to my office. And a registration override request form. Let's say you want to register for a course in the spring and you're unable to. The fastest way to get this resolved is to fill out this form and drop it by my office. You can send me an email, but I'm probably going to respond and say, please fill out this form. So if you fill out this form, that lets me know that you're trying to get into a course, you're having an issue, I can look into the issue and try and get you into that course, depending on what the issue is. All right, enough about forms. I'm going to talk to you about your responsibilities here as graduate students. So you have academic requirements that you need to meet. You must complete your degree program by meeting the requirements as specified in the 2018-2019 graduate catalog. You must attain a cumulative GPA throughout your entire time here of 3.0 or better. You need a C or better in all 4 required core courses, or if you're academic link students, those 4 core courses plus your 2 bridge courses. And you can have no more than 8 semester hours of a B-. So even if you earn 4 A's and 4 C's, your cumulative GPA would be 3.0, but because you're would still be over this 8 credit threshold, you won't be able to graduate. So keep that in mind, that there are requirements. In addition to the classes that you have to take, there are certain other requirements that you must fulfill. So let's talk about academic probation. Like I said, to be in good standing, all of you need a GPA of 3.0 or higher. But what happens if that doesn't happen? So let's say this fall, you do okay in your classes and you get a B and a B-. That's less than a 3.0 GPA. So we would consider this fall your first term in academic probation. It's the first time period where your grade point average is below 3.0. If that happens, you meet with me, we talk about what happened, we develop a plan going forward to get you out of academic probation. So for the spring semester, we talk about what classes would be good to take, we chat with Hamid, we approve the plan, and we move forward. Let's say in the spring, you do great, you earn 2 A's, awesome. Your cumulative GPA is back above 3.0, you're in good standing. But let's say at the end of the spring, you're still not doing so well, you earn another B and another B minus. That spring would be your second term on academic probation. So 2 consecutive terms with a GPA below 3.0 means you're a second term GPA student. After your second consecutive term in academic probation, you're automatically dismissed from this master's program. You're still a student here at Northeastern, but you're no longer in the Energy Systems program. At that point, you need to file an appeal with my office. Again, we sit down, we meet, we go over the form, we chat about what happened, what caused you to have this second consecutive semester with a GPA below 3.0. We develop a plan, we hand it over to Hamid and his committee to review, and he can choose to grant your appeal and give you a third term, or he can choose to deny your appeal and say, you know what, 2 terms under 3.0, I think we're done. Now let's say he grants your appeal, and you come back in the fall 2019, you're ready to go, and by the end of the fall semester next year, this is your third term under 3.0. So you have 3 consecutive terms with a cumulative GPA below 3.0. At that point, you are dismissed from the College of Engineering. You're no longer a student here in the COE. There is an appeals process after this third term dismissal, but that appeals process is much more difficult than just convincing Hamid to give you another chance. This appeals process goes to the dean and a whole lot of other faculty members. So the important thing to take away from here is to take your study seriously, to reach out to your professors, your TAs, to your advisors if you are experiencing any problems, and not wait until the end of the semester when your final grades come out. We can try and help you at the end, but it's far easier for us to help you if you ask for that help early. So last year, out of almost 4,000 graduate engineering students, I had 100 students on probation, and 7 students were dismissed from Northeastern. So it's rare, but it does happen. I hope I never see any of you on academic probation. If you do, we can work together and get you out. A lot of my students will end up on academic probation once or twice, and we bring them back up and they're good to go. But again, I can't help you unless you're asking for that help. The full probation policy can be found on the website, which I've linked up at the top of this slide. So if you're curious and want to read more, you can have access to that policy. I think you all should have also received an email asking you to read and verify this policy. If you haven't done so, I'll be contacting you. If you've already read it and verified, signed off, thank you. So another issue that we encounter more often than we'd like is issues of academic integrity. So at Northeastern, we have a commitment to the principles of academic integrity, and it's essential to the mission of Northeastern University. We promote independent and original scholarship to ensure that students, you all, and your peers derive the most from your educational experience in pursuit of knowledge. Academic dishonesty violates the fundamental values of an intellectual community. It undermines the achievements of the entire university. So what I mean by academic integrity, I'll talk about it in terms of violations. So cheating. Any attempt to use unauthorized materials, information, or study aids in any academic exercise, not just taking tests, but if you're given a paper and you can only use so many resources. Fabrication, the falsification or misrepresentation of any or invention of any information, data, citation, or in an academic exercise. Plagiarism. I see this way too often, and it is using one's own words, ideas, data, code, or other academic material of somebody else without using a proper citation or attribution. Essentially, plagiarism is stealing somebody else's ideas and trying to pass them off as your own. Unauthorized collaboration. Instances when students submit individual academic works that are substantially similar to another. So if each one of you is given an assignment and it's supposed to be an individual assignment, but you and your friends get together, even if you don't mean to be cheating, but your work is very similar to one another's and it's meant to be an individual assignment, you are violating academic integrity. Participation in any academic dishonest activities is any action taken by a student with the intention of gaining an unfair advantage over other students. And facilitating academic dishonesty, intentionally or knowingly helping or contributing to the violation of any provision of this policy. So again, you all are graduate students here, you all are adults, and you will all go into the workplace. We expect you all to uphold the academic integrity of this university and of yourselves in moral and ethical ways. We do find out about any violations of this policies, and I've seen students receive 0 on an assignment. I've seen students fail the entire course, which means you've just lost out on over $6,000 of tuition because you will need to take the course again if the professor allows you to do so. And I've seen students expelled from the university for multiple violations of this. We take academic integrity here very seriously. But that being said, if you have any questions about what is plagiarism, I'm not sure what it is, this okay, is this cheating, ask professors, ask your advisors, ask other students. We want you guys to ask questions so you don't fall into this and mistakenly or accidentally violate one of these policies. We understand that plagiarism and other things like that are hard to understand, and there's different definitions of it depending on what country you're coming from, what your former university has done. So ask, always ask. All right. After that scare tactic, let me talk about the support my office can provide to you. So again, the first thing that you guys have encountered so far is your course registration. I think most of you all are all registered for the appropriate courses. If you're unable to register, if you have questions, you can stop by and we can chat today, or you can stop by in my office hours later this week or next week. And as Hamid mentioned earlier, at the university, at the College of Engineering, we have 2 types of online classes. So we have a totally online class, which students can take from anywhere. It's a virtual class, so it's an online instructional method. This type of class is available to both full-time and part-time students. Then we have a V35 video streaming course, which is essentially what we're doing now. So there's a camera in the classroom recording this in-person lecture, and those in-person lectures are uploaded. They're uploaded for the on-campus students who are viewing it, and they're uploaded to the online section of students. Now, just be aware, if you ever see V35 in a course, these V35 classes are for part-time students only. Anybody who is a full-time student or anybody who is not on co-op is ineligible for these V35 classes. It can get confusing, so if you ever have questions about is this online, is this V35, you can always email me. But for any international students in the room who are on F1 or J1 visas, in order to take an online class, you must first be registered for at least 4 credits of on-campus work. If you're on an F1 or a J1 visa, the US government has said you're here to study at Northeastern University. So if you're taking 8 credits of online classes, you don't really need a visa to be here. So that way, if you do that, you violate terms of a visa. We get into whole other issues. Again, it's a lot of information right now, so if you are on an F1 or J1 visa and you're not sure, you can always email me and we can talk about your case specifically. All right, so if you ever need assistance from my office, I have walk-in office hours just like your other faculty members. Walk-in office hours are periods of time where you, as students, can visit faculty and staff without an appointment. You just simply sign in and show up to our office and we are able to see you. So next week and the following week, my office has extended office hours. So from Wednesday, September 5th through Friday the 14th, I'm available Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m., and Tuesday and Friday, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. You can just show up to my office with any questions or issues you have. Starting Monday, September 17th, my office hours resume, and those normal hours are Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. I also have my office hours listed in the email signature in my email signature, so you can just email me and see it in my response. When you come to my office, please make sure to bring your Husky, bring your NUID. Your NUID is that 9-digit number that you've all been assigned. It's not on your Husky card, so if you think it's listed there, it's not. You guys either have to write it on a sticky note, or if you're really good, memorize it. So how to reach me. Again, this is my email address. You can always reach me by email. Any of our online students, part-time students, if you can't show up to the office, you can email me. Those are my regular walk-in office hours. If you ever can't come to my office during that, you can also make individual appointments with me. You do have to give me at least 24 hours notice. I work with about 800 students and a couple hundred other faculty and staff members. And in your emails to me, include your name, NUID, and the reason for your appointment or the question that you have. The other thing to note, my office is open Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. I don't usually respond to emails outside of those hours. So if you're sending me an email Friday night, I'll see it on Monday morning unless it's a holiday. If you ever have an urgent issue, you can write urgent in the subject line, but again, generally I don't answer my emails outside of office hours. All right, so Northeastern is a huge university and there are so many opportunities for you to get involved. One of them as Energy Systems students is we have an Energy Systems Society, and we have some representatives from that society here today. They'll talk with you in just a few minutes. We also have the Northeastern University Graduate Student Government. They're here today, but you can also join them. For any graduate women in science and engineering, we have a specific organization for that. We also have what's called the STEM Center for Education, which is really cool. It's the office right across from mine. So our STEM Education office doesn't work with our students particularly, but they reach out to local students here in the Boston neighborhoods, kindergarten through 12th grade students who are interested in STEM careers. So it's a really cool way to volunteer, to give back, and to get to know the Boston community for any of you who aren't from Boston, which I think is almost all of you. We also have a career development center. You can attend career-oriented events, workshops. This career development center is open to anyone and everyone, staff, alumni, students, faculty. You don't have to be on co-op or interested in co-op to take advantage of this office. We have a writing center here on campus. So the writing center is free of charge. There's no additional cost for you to see them. So if you ever have to write a paper, write a cover letter, write a resume, even just write an email, a really formal email, the Writing Center can help you on campus. They're not just there to edit your grammar. They are there to really help you draft, develop, frame, organize your ideas. They're a really underutilized service here on campus, and they do specialize in helping STEM, science, technology, engineering, math students. On-campus jobs. I get a lot of questions about on-campus jobs. So all on-campus jobs you can look for and apply for on the Student Employment Portal. Any international students, a paid position on campus might affect your visa status, so check with OGS before you are taking any action. We need to make sure you have the proper work authorization to work here in the US. And you guys are in Boston. Boston's probably the coolest city in the United States, in my unbiased opinion. Having grown up here, went to school here, still here. There are over 100 colleges and universities in the Boston metro area. It's not that old of a city in terms of the world, but it's one of the oldest cities in the US. It's one of the birthplaces of the American Revolution. There's a lot of cool events happening. So check out this Boston calendar. Get off campus, explore the city, join some of the events that are happening and going on. And again, if you guys ever want to chat about Boston, I'm more than happy to talk about it. So any international students, if you haven't already checked in with OGS, make sure you're checking in with OGS and you're attending the orientation. Attend your classes next week. Some of you might not have classes next week because of your schedules. Go to your first classes. And the College of Engineering is on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram for whatever reason. I'm not sure what photos we post on Instagram, but follow us. All right, so now I'm going to invite Shubham up to talk about the Energy Systems Society. You got this.
Thank you.
You can hold it and you can flip it.
All right. So good morning, everyone. And welcome to Northeastern University. And I'm glad to show you who we are, what we do, what is actually Northeastern University Energy Systems Society. So rather than going through slides, I'm just going to go to our website and I'll show you what we do, what are the events, and what are the upcoming events happening, and where you can participate and where you can actually contribute towards this society. And by the way, I'm Shubham Nanwal. I'm the president of the Energy Systems Society. And if you have any questions about the society, you can join me later after this orientation. So let's start. It's going to take a little bit of time because I think Windows is a little bit slow. I tried. Yep.
Did work for me.
It did work. I think
You got it?
we need to check in again. Yep.
Technical difficulties.
Apologies, guys. No, I'll get it.
You got it?
Yeah. Distance. Just wait. I need to get into that website. Yep, got it.
Got it? I swear to God, it worked when we tried it this way.
Yep, there we go. My apologies, guys. These technical difficulties, you don't know what can happen. So, this is our website. We are still working on it. You can check it out. So let's start with who we are. So the Energy Systems Society was formed like 3-4 years ago, and the main concept behind, the main idea behind this society was to bring people from academia, from industry and students together into the same table where they can show their, where they can tell their ideas and everything about what is going on within the universities, what researches are going on in the energy sector, what is going on in the industry, and in the same way the students can learn from all these events. So not only just the engineering aspects of the energy problems, but also the business and the policy side of it. So this is our team. This is me. This is Swapnil. There are a lot of people who are involved with this society, and we create a lot of events. And let's show you the events. So since we have taken over as a new board in 2018, we did some of the events. One, I'll just tell you through 3 or 4 events, and then I'm going to take you to our main event. So the first event we did was a tour at the Greentown Labs. It is the biggest startup incubator in the world, where we interacted with a lot of startups. We interacted with a lot of people. How did they start it? What was their intention about starting a startup? What were their ideas? How did they started their whole venture? Then the next event we did was we went to Veolia Energy. So Veolia Energy is a big energy company in the Boston region, and there was a tour organized by us and with the help of Veolia Energy, and it was about the cogeneration plant which is used in the Cambridge. So they gave us the tour, and where we learned about what is cogen, how it's working, how the industry puts it. It's a lot of difference when you read it in books, but when you actually see it, you can learn a lot. Then on the right, you can see, I don't think you can see it from here, but there is an ISEC building. So it's the newest building in the Northeastern University, and it has been credited as the most efficient building at Northeastern University. It has a LEED Green certification, I guess. So we invited the Associate Director of Energy and Sustainability at Northeastern. He gave us a talk about why this building is so special, what are the things they implemented, who they contacted, and how did they get that LEED certification. Then we also hosted a screening, a documentary screening with, in association with the Association of India's Development. So it was all about the ongoing crisis in India, ongoing environmental problems related to the coal generation and coal power plants and all that. And we also invite a lot. So the next event we did was EDP Renewables. So they basically deal in the wind energy. So wind energy is not that much in the East Coast region, but it's going to be a lot if we talk about offshore wind energy. So he talked about what are they doing, what are their plans in the East Coast, and what all things a student should do while transitioning from his studies, while after completing his studies, to the job perspectives. So what, in order to grow in the job market, what all things a student should do. So these were the kind of events we did. But the main event, and this is the only energy conference that happens in the Northeastern University, and it is organized by us, and you can be a part of it. So I'll show you what is our energy conference. So the energy conference will be happening on 28th of September 2018, and you can be a part of it. How you can be the part of it? You can volunteer for it, and from that volunteers we choose our new board members. So I highly encourage you to be the part of it, volunteer for it. Just go through this website, NU Energy Conference, and you can see all the events, all the agendas. And especially for you who are coming in the fall session, it is a great way for you to learn what is actually going on in the industry. So it's not just only about technology, it's all about policy, it's all about business, it's all about financing of these new ventures. And the best part is volunteers don't have to pay any fee for the conference. So you can attend it for free and you can access everything, even the expo area and all the events and all the agendas you can follow. And you can meet, volunteers can access, even meet the panelists and the keynote speakers. So not everyone can meet those guys, so they are pretty busy. So it all depends on that. So this is a little bit short things about the Northeastern University Energy Systems Society, and I highly recommend you to actually be a part of it. It will help you to grow. And the last thing before I leave the stage, spend your time, or I can say invest your time wisely while you are at the Northeastern University. It will be beneficial for you at the end. So if you need to see me, if you need to talk, I'll be just here, and I'll see you. I'll see you soon.
All right, so then we have Alok from the Graduate Student Government. He's going to give you a talk about what is the Graduate Student Government and what do they do for you on campus.
Hey guys, good morning. I'm sure you guys are tired. Don't worry, there's food behind you. Thanks to Laura. I am a grad student from Energy Systems. And, oops.
I got you.
Yeah, I am the Vice President for Marketing at Graduate Student Government. Graduate Student Government is the official representative body for all grad students at Northeastern University. We work as a liaison between the administrative and the students. Whatever issues you have at Northeastern, you come and tell us. We make sure that the administrative body is hearing about the issue. We may not come up with a solution, but we try that at least they hear what you guys have to say. And being a grad student, you all pay a grad student activity fee, which contributes to a budget. Using that budget, we do like 3 kinds of activities. The first is group funding group events. Second is building doing community builders, and third one is individual travel funding. For group activities, for example, you saw like the Energy System Society. We give bits of funding to them, and other groups, we have like total 60 groups under us. We give funding for all the groups. Then community builders are like various events that goes on in the campus to make use of like various different kind of cultural activities and stuff. Individual travel funding. Being a grad student, you all are eligible to apply for individual conference funding, like travel funding. When you go for a conference, you attend a conference. It depends. It comes in different quarters, and you can see all the specifics in our website. So you get its maximum is 350, but like it depends how much we can give, because we have to provide that funding for every grad student. So it comes in bits and pieces. Yeah. How you can be a member of GSG. Being a grad student, you're already a member of GSG, but if you would like to participate more, you can sign up to be a senator. You can find the form in our website, and also you can follow us on Facebook to get the form. When you become a senator, you have the official right to vote for any decision that takes place in our Senate meetings. For example, suppose we are funding a group, and a voting takes place before we fund someone, so you guys have the right to vote for that. And suppose you guys need to form a group. Suppose now, for example, you have ASCM and Energy System Society. When they form a group, they come to us, and we put a voting whether we need to include them under GSG or not. And if you guys are voting, and if majority of guys are voting, and they come to us, if we succeed, then like they come under us, and they officially become a body under us. Our first Senate meeting is on 12th of September. You guys are all invited. You'll get free lunch, so hope you guys come. Yeah, the collaborative efforts. This is the first thing we came up last year. This is called as the Red Eye Service. It's kind of a safety escort. Earlier it was only for 1 mile, but because grad students are living in various places, so we asked the college to increase the radius to 3 miles. It's very useful during the winters, and there's still some kind of glitches, but I hope it's very useful to you guys. Yeah, the main thing is like we have over 3,000 grad students at Northeastern, and during the exam times the library gets filled up and there is no study space. So we spoke with like college government, and we found a new space from 7 p.m. at night till noon. You can use Rebecca as a study space. And the next big thing we did is like to create the PhD task force. Earlier, even PhD funding used to come under GSG. Now, after we created the PhD task force, all the PhD travel funding and group funding goes to PhD network. Like when you guys pay us the fees, there is one fixed amount that we give it to the PhD network, and it goes to them. They take care of the PhD funding from this year onwards. Past events. I mean, this was the fall and spring welcome brunch. We have brunch for you guys too on 1st of October at Curry Ballroom. This was Color Me Happy. This was based on many events in India and Mexico. I know some of you guys may be knowing in India it's called as Holi. It's like basically color, music and fun. And we had like many movie nights. And we had like other events also. You can search for all our events on Facebook. Like you can join us on Facebook, Twitter, or LinkedIn. You'll get to know all the events. And like if you guys follow us on Facebook, you get update for all the events. So like that's very useful. This is your brunch for you guys. So I hope I see you guys. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, online, LinkedIn, or you can come and meet us directly on like Curry 3rd floor 236. If you guys have any doubt, like I'll be backstage, you guys can ask me later on. Thank you.
Good job.
Okie dokie. So we have this room for another 35 minutes before we eat lunch. Does anybody have any questions for? Yeah?
I'd like to make some comments
Sure.
about academics. Okay, when I was watching Laura's presentation, two things came to my mind. Many of you guys want to travel during the winter break. Don't make any plan till the final exam schedule is out. It usually comes out about 4 weeks after classes start. And make sure you buy your tickets or plan after the last final exam. For example, when I teach a course, I say anybody doesn't show up for exam gets 0, okay? Regardless what you tell me, okay? And so if you say, Professor, I had bought my ticket leaving December 12, not acceptable, okay? Because otherwise I have to make, if there are 20 students in class, maybe I have to take 10 different final exams, and there is no way I can make a judgment regarding who knows what, because usually the grades are not that high. I have to make a curve, and if the exams are different, how can I do that? Okay. That's true for most of your courses. Item number 2, there is a course ENGR 5670. Has anybody registered for that course? That's about sustainability. It's a team taught by 2 professors, one from electrical engineering, Brad Lehman, the other one, chemical engineering, Laura Lewis. And they came to my office and they say they don't want to take any energy students. I said, why? They said, a couple of them cheated last term. Okay. See, all you need is one bad apple and gets in trouble. And basically they said the students cheated from each other, what should I tell them? Okay, I said, I tried to convince them it only happened once, it will never happen again. Okay? Talk is cheap. Okay? The action is important. So please don't do anything that I get these professors in my office. Okay? Now they have team project. So the couple of energy students, they didn't show up in the group meeting, and the rest of the group complained to the professors, these guys didn't show up. Or they were take-home exam, they were almost the same. There were projects almost the same. Plagiarism is bad. Now, I deal with these papers coming to the journal. As soon as somebody upload the paper, the first thing we do, we check it against plagiarism. And if the number I have, if it's more than 20% plagiarism, I send it back. I said, not good. Now, there's something else that you may not know. Self-plagiarism is plagiarism. That is, if you write something before and now you're writing something new using what you wrote before, that's plagiarism. Okay? So please be careful. We want to make sure you guys are the smartest group in the country, in the world. Let's prove it to the other people that you are. Because no matter how much I tell them you're good, they won't believe me unless you show that you are the best students in the world. Okay? So make sure that not only in that course, the other courses too. Okay? The homework. A few years ago, I gave a take-home exam, final take-home exam. There were 2 students. The only thing they didn't do, they didn't go to Xerox copy machine copying from, but everything else was the same. So I gave them both F. So I don't know whose work it is. Okay? And they came to my office. Whose is it? 50-50? I'm sure it's never 50-50. If you duplicate one from the 2 exams are exactly the same. One may be 90, the other one is 10. I don't have any idea. So I gave you guys both F on that. Okay? And you want to go complain against Laura. Okay? So be careful in this stuff. Some of the stuff, I grew up in Iran. You guys know that. So it was considered as to be smart if you do something crazy. But it's officially stealing. Okay? So if you use the word substitute cheating with stealing, it doesn't look good, right? You're stealing. So please be careful. Okay? There are many times I've seen the students, they tell me why this happens. Look, I grew up in Iran. I know, I saw so many things. I know that stuff. Don't try to convince me. It doesn't look good. Okay? So don't do it. I mean, I'm sure you guys won't do it, but you guys have to prove it to the other guys that you're the best student in the world, and plagiarism, cheating does not exist in your vocabulary. Again, my apology if it came out bad, but I just had these two professors in my office last week, and they didn't want to have any energy students in the program. I said, no, you can't do that. They're good. Okay? Before we start question and answer. So we're opening up to question and answer now?
Up to questions.
What?
Yep.
Do we have questions? I think the most question would go to Mr. Pete, right? When can you start co-op and how much money can you make, right? Yes.
I have a question about the advisor. Like when you do the register for courses, like if you want look for help, which advisor should we go to? Okay.
If you decide what course you want to take, before your decision, talk to me. So this is what you're interested in, so this may be the best course. After you figure that out, and somehow you cannot register, then you go see Laura.
So before we make the decision, we go to you.
Yeah, if it is a course outside this required courses, outside the approved elective, you come and see me. Even if maybe you're 2-3 courses within the approved elective, but you're not sure, you come and talk to me and we say, what are your interests? Because I know what these courses cover. And so maybe that course A is the what you want to take. But then after that, it's her. Anything else? We're good? Everybody's hungry, it looks like it.
All right.
Should we apply to the Husky card on our own, or should we wait till the orientation?
Your Husky card?
Yeah, should we apply for it now, or
You
should
should
we wait
get
till
your
orientation?
no. You should get your Husky card now.
Okay.
So you can get your Husky card at the Stern Center. So if you know where Huntington Ave is, right where the Green Line train goes, across the street on the same side as Marino Center is the Stern Center, Stern's building. Spear. Thank you. Spear. I knew I was saying it wrong.
Sphere. Okay. She made a mistake that usually doesn't happen. You know that.
So go to Spear Hall, get your Husky card printed out there.
They're actually doing it in the Curry Center on the second floor, 242.
You did better.
Close it right here. Yes.
Yeah. In the presentation, it said that you are allowed to take just 9 semester hours outside your college. But if I'm doing a grad certificate course, and for that course I need to take 12 semester hours outside my college, what should I do? Do I am allowed to do that or not?
No, you're not allowed to take more than 9 credits outside college. She won't allow you.
But for a certificate course, if it's required,
It's on a case-by-case basis. So you'll need to meet with Hamid and go over that curriculum for the certificate. And if he says these 4 classes make sense, he approves, then it comes to me. And if he approves it, I might.
Is there any certificate that requires more than 9 credits outside COE? I don't think so.
Business school one usually, but they.
Oh, you mean not COE certificate?
outside the CUA.
No, we don't like that. Yes.
Professor, I have taken sustainability class in this fall, the one which you said by Mr. Bradley. So, is it still valid, or is it like?
No, if you register, you're good. You register for the course?
Yeah.
You're good. Now I want you to prove to them that you're the best student in the class coming from energy systems. Okay? So make sure we can solve that problem that's in their head now. It takes more than 1 semesters to change that. So I really want you to do that. Thanks. Yes.
Classes that are normally on Mondays and Tuesdays, those will start the week after.
Yes. So if you have a Monday or Tuesday class next week, it's not going to be held next week because classes won't start until Wednesday the 5th.
What are you taking Monday? Is it the evening class?
Economic decision making.
That's an evening section?
Yeah.
You get a free week next week.
But do you know what's going to happen? They're going to cover the same material, but less contact hours. Okay? Because there are 2 other Mondays that are holidays, Columbus Day and Veterans Day. Okay, but you cover the same thing. Okay.
Do you have office hours
Yes, Monday, Wednesday, 3 to 4 o'clock.
Wednesday?
Monday, Wednesday, 3 to 4. If you cannot make it, send me an email. If I'm in Boston, I'm usually in my office. I'm at the Northeastern, so there might be meetings and classes.
Where do we go to get our link pass?
Your link pass for the subway?
Yes.
That's in another office on campus that I don't know off the top of my head. But if you can send me an email with this question, I can send you the address and the contact information for that office.
Do you have to do it online?
I think you could do it online. I think you can also go
And then it's the third floor of Richard, right?
Is it the third floor of Richards?
I think so.
That's financial services.
Yeah, that's what they
They do
do.
the link passes there?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Can we do co-op only in the third semester or also in fourth semester?
Yes, for incoming students, if you're enrolled here for the first time and you're taking classes in the fall, you can search in the spring and then obtain your co-ops starting in May, pretty much any time during the summer through that January. Okay, there are deadlines, of course, but really you should be starting co-op in May or sometime in the summer, and really the latest would be January, that following year.
Because one of our seniors in computer science, they did 2 courses in fall, then again, so they first got six courses, like 2 courses in fall, then in spring, then again in fall they did 2 courses, and then they went for co-op. So their total master's program was of 2.5 years. So like that way, is it
Yeah, I
possible?
can't really speak to specific students in what they do, because those are individual cases. I just know that for you, when you come in, you'll take the 1 credit course. Are you enrolled in the 1 credit course now? Okay. You take the course, you have to maintain a 3.0 overall GPA. You search in the spring, and then from that point on, from May on, you can go on co-op. So really, your deadline would be January 2020 at this point.
Yes.
So if I'm not able to register for a course, like for the semester, can I go and sit for the lectures freely?
Well, yes and no. So what you're talking about is auditing a course. If you audit a course, that's when you sit in the course, but you're not officially registered for it. So if you're a full-time student, or if you're on an F1 or a J1 visa, you need to be enrolled in at least 8 credits. Okay, so sitting in on a course, auditing a course doesn't count for that. Now, if there's a course that you want to take, but you're unable to get into it now, you could, with the professor's permission, sit in and audit it this semester. However, if you audit a course now, you cannot take it in the future for credit. So if you want to sit in on Professor McElgie's power plant class this semester, you can't take it for credit in the future because you've already sat through it and you have an unfair advantage, academic integrity, over the other students. So if there's a specific course, you have specific cases, come to me, we can talk about it. But in general, students are allowed to audit certain courses with the professor's permission. But if you do audit the course, you don't get credit for it, and you are not allowed to take it for credit in the future.
That's the official audit.
Yeah.
The unofficial audit, you just go to class and you ask professor, can I sit here? Usually the answer is yes, if there is room, there is seats available. But what happens, usually you give up, because at the beginning you understand what's going on, but since you're not studying, sometimes in the middle of the term you get lost to say, what is the guy talking about? And then you stop coming to class. Remember, if you don't do homework, you won't learn anything. That's a rule of thumb.
So while I'm auditing, I do get the lecture, like I get given the assignments and all.
That's between you and the professor.
Yeah.
Some professors just want you to sit in the back because they don't want to have to grade your papers because you're just an extra body in there. Some professors will let you participate.
I couldn't register for the ENCP course this semester. And if I want to do a co-op from next summer, can I do it in next spring?
Yes.
Yes, it's valid.
Yep. So if you're taking ENCP this fall or this spring, there's no difference. All students who are starting in the fall, regardless of when you take ENCP, whether this fall or this spring, you're all eligible in May.
But why you were not able to register?
I mean, the seats were full when I registered.
Class is full?
Yeah. All sections are full.
Gotcha. Okay, well, we can talk now.
Because I personally recommend to take it in the fall, so you learn everything that Pete said. So starting January, start looking for a job, because you have to go to the interview and all that stuff, send them a resume, and doing it at the same time may not be the best way to do it.
Are there any other students that are not, that want to go in co-op that are not enrolled in the 6,000 class? So everybody
Raise your
else?
hand.
Yeah, raise your hand, please.
So there are about 20 of them.
Okay, I'm gonna have you all, do you have a pen on you?
Yeah.
Okay. Before you guys get lunch, I'm gonna have you, if you want to try and get into co-op this fall, I can't guarantee that I can get you into the class this fall, but if you are interested, come here, write down your name and your Husky email address, and I'll see what I can do. Again, no promises. Classes start next week and the classes are full.
Any other questions?
Does the co-op credit, the co-op course credit count towards the 16 credit hour requirement?
It counts towards the 16 credit hour requirement to be eligible for co-op. However, it does not count towards the 32 credits needed for the master's degree. So if you pursue the co-op track, you'll end up graduating with 33 credits. All right, are we ready for lunch? All right, so up in the back, we have boxed lunches and waters. Now we have gluten-free sandwiches, we have vegetarian, we have vegan, and we have some meat sandwiches. So if you do have one of those dietary restrictions or preferences, grab what you need, and if you don't have dietary restrictions, just hang back. If you really want a vegan sandwich but you're not vegan, just wait, let the vegans take it first. We cool with that? Yeah?
Really quick, if you are not enrolled in the 6,000 class and want to be, I'm going to leave this sheet of paper here and a pen. If you could please write your name and your NUID number on that sheet of paper, we will look into it for you and get back to you.
So Ms. Laura, how are we going to do it?
Take the go, I mean this fall.
Are we gonna do it? All
The
right.
vegan group first?
Vegans and vegetarians first.
Vegan and vegetarian first, because you guys have a diet and we can eat, non-veggie, non-vegan, we can eat anything.